So to understand flash loans, you have to understand the atomic nature of Ethereum transactions. So you can like send funds, like Bob can send $5 to Alice, right? And it's just a transaction where he's saying, I send five to Alice. But then you can have more complex actions basically built in, and they all have to succeed at once or they all revert. So let's just look at this. So I have this 5 coin contract right here, and Alice and Bob and Chuck each have some balance, right? And I have this function called take 5, and it basically requires that I can take 5 from each person or it reverts all of it, right? So I'll compile and deploy that, and we'll see that the balances here basically represent what we deployed them as, right? And then if I call the take 5 function on this contract, we'll see it takes 5 from everybody. So then if I call that one more time, we should see the transaction increment and 5 more. Okay, so now this is going to be the interesting case. This is where Chuck's not going to have the 5, right? So what happens? Does it take 5 from Alice and Bob too? No, it doesn't. It reverts. So Chuck just can't 5, right? So Bob still has his 5, Alice still has her 5, but Chuck can't, and so this transaction just won't go through, right? So it reverts everything. It either runs all of it and does all the state changes, or it does none of it, okay? So then with that in mind, we are going to build an atomic sandwich, okay? Stay with me here. So we've got basically this smart contract here called atomic sandwich, and we have bread, meat, and cheese, okay? And they can either be in the fridge or on the table, right? So the thing is, to make a sandwich, I've got to have meat, bread, and cheese on the table, but I also can get yelled at by my wife for leaving the cheese or the meat on the table. So what my wife prefers is that I make an atomic sandwich, meaning that I will take the meat and cheese out of the fridge, make the sandwich on the table, and put the meat and cheese back in the fridge, all in a single transaction. So at resting state, right, this could never be called on it because it won't be left in the, it will never be left in the state where I could get yelled at. Okay? So the whole goal is to have sandwich is made equals true and got yelled at equals false. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, let's compile and deploy this contract and just look at it real quick. Okay, so we've got bread and we've got cheese. We've got our meat wired up here. Okay, so cheese and meat are in the fridge, and we can take them out by putting cheese there and then into our data field and making a transaction. So that should take the cheese out of the fridge and put it on the table in a transaction. What did I do wrong? Take out of fridge. I gotta wire this guy up. Sorry. Here we go. Alright, so now with the cheese out of the fridge on the table, I can get yelled at, right? Yep, cheese is on the table, then we go yell at Austin, and we put that into the data field, and we submit it, and I get yelled at. So, got yelled at is going to sadly now be true. Okay, so this round didn't work very well. Okay, let's redeploy that. Okay. And this time we're going to call flash make a sandwich. We're going to take the meat and the cheese out, we're going to make the sandwich, and then we're going to put it back in the fridge. Okay, all in a single transaction and not get yelled at. All right, here we go. So back over here, we need this function called, so first of all, let's make sure these guys are all reset. Got yelled at, uh-oh, what did I do? Got yelled at should be false. Oh, we got them both right up here. Oh, if I were to wire them up right. Okay, sorry. Sandwich is made, boom. And then we got yelled at right here, whatever. We got them right here. Sandwich is made as false, got yelled at as false. All right, now we need to flash make a sandwich. When just the right conditions are ready to go, we throw this into a transaction and we put that out there. And what it does is atomically, it takes the stuff out we need, makes the sandwich we need, and puts the stuff back. And we never get yelled at, But a sandwich does get made, an atomic sandwich.